I'm here to tell you about the fantastic Name the Game series from Australian Football Video. Now, there's over 200 games available, including final series, state games, night premierships, and the best home and away matches of the 91 and 92 seasons. Not just the highlights, not just the last quarter, but 100 minutes of top footy action. So pick up your free catalogue at any Brussels store. And remember, footy brings out the best in a person.
Nine times in 30 years, Hawthorn had taken the premiership. 1992 would be a season of change in the Australian Football League. They'd be there, the Hawks, but question marks hung over their power. This would be a season for new bloods. Footscray aiming for its first flag since 1954. Geelong had waited since the days of Farmer and Goggin in 1963, and St Kilda still reminisced about that one-point victory of 66. As for the West Coast Eagles, well, they had a flagpole, but nothing to fly from it. They were the leading contenders. As for superstars, we had many. The goal scorers, the high flyers, the men of power. It was a season that saw rules challenged in the courts of the land, financial deals scrutinised, and offenders harshly dealt with. A year of celebration, of sadness. This was 1992, and that was the season that was. So after 8 months, it's all over. We have a new premiership team, and for the players and supporters, the celebrations have shown no signs of winding down. 1992 was another landmark year in the history of our great game. From Darwin in the north to Hobart on the southern tip of Tasmania, football reigned supreme. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, with its internationally acclaimed Great Southern Stand, resumed its mantle as headquarters. And it was here in May that Carlton and Collingwood put on a centenary celebration that was a highlight of the season. We would farewell Tim Watson, Terry Danaher and Simon Madden. We missed Michael Tuck's understated brilliance and lingered for the return of the injured, led by Hawthorn's Dermot Brereton and Collingwood tough man Craig Kelly. However, there were more than enough superstars to make up for their loss. The full forwards went on a goal-kicking frenzy, Lockett and Dunstall smashing records throughout the season. Ablett fired Geelong, Roos was supreme at Fitzroy, and a big blonde ruckman named Scotty Wind led Footscray from the front. This is a story about teams, however. Could anyone hope to wrest the honours from Hawthorn? Could the West Coast live up to its potential? Or would someone come in as a bolter? Well, let's go right back to the start of the year, as we look now at that was the season that was, 1992.
There was no rest for the wicked, or the Saints for that matter, over a long hot summer. St Kilda adjourned to Puckapunyal Army Camp north of Melbourne to toughen up.
I just found it so hard. Sometimes I just feel like giving up and saying that's it. I just cannot go any further.
Adelaide coach Graham Corns turned up the heat, but in one of the wackier exercises ever dreamt up, Nigel Smart came to grief when he went firewalking.
Volunteers weren't called for. Nigel Smart was pumped up and raring to go. Rushed back to the Crows' camp, Smart wasn't looking comfortable. Serious burns to his feet.
Well, I'm not really worried about it. I got through it, okay? It's just a couple of little burns on the way, so it's no big deal.
While Nigel's blisters healed, Collingwood flew north into the sultry heat of the Northern Territory for a Foster's Cup match against the Eagles. The Magpies would lodge a formal complaint about the 34-degree heat. The players would take weeks to recover, and as if it mattered at the time, they lost by 34 points. It was a time when complaints were flying, and the Blues had plenty to say about the deregistration of their star recruit, the Brownlow medal-winning centreman Greg Williams. Talk of his salary, reputed to be as much as $400,000 a season, was overshadowed by the fact that the Diesel had received a little bit on the side while playing for the Swans. He was sidelined for 6 weeks. In a replay of the 1991 eliminator at Waverley, Geelong won another heartstopper against St Kilda, this time by 3 points.
Well, this to put Geelong in front. Drop punt. Straight through, the Cats in front.
It was a costly loss for the Saints, with Dean Rice injuring his knee and outed for the season.
Even with Hocking coming across and immediately grabbing for that knee, Dean Rice.
In a most unlikely scenario, Lowly Fitzroy fought their way into a grand final showdown with night final specialists Hawthorn.
Here's a chance for Seacamp. Back it comes and around the corner goes Osborne, and he has kicked it. And now it's on for young and old.
Hawthorn have it in their attacking zone again, down towards Hall and Roos. Out comes Barrett. Hall the first to recover. He may go over the top this time to Dunstall. No, he has a left foot snap. Oh, has he kicked that one? Yes, he has.
Nearly 50,000 made the Lions sentimental favourites, but with Paul Hudson kicking 5 and winning the inaugural Michael Tuck medal as best of field, Fitzroy struggled. Hawthorn yet again by 65 points.
Shoot from 40 metres out and pop it through for the Hawks.
Pre-season form often counts for little, but Hawthorn unfurled their 9th premiership pennant and then demolished Geelong in a high-scoring encounter.
At the centre line, Jarman is called to play on. He's caught Geelong players flat-footed, and this could result in a goal. It has.
Gets his foot to the ball, doesn't go very far. Hudson's foot hasn't had a touch yet. Platten. Kick towards full forward, one-on-one, Dunstall. Well done, McGrath. But Dunstall's got it again. He may kick his third. A kick across his shoulder is magnificent football. There's not much McGrath can do about that.
Just as he'd done in 1990, Jason Dunstall kicked a dozen goals and helped turn a half-time deficit of 5 goals into a 20-point win.
Here's another one to Jason. Well, that's 11.
Hawthorn mark taken by Madigan. Away they go. Cooper onto Jarman. Jarman looks upfield and delivers it with precision.
It's a kick, isn't it?
Magnificent kick on the run by Jarman.
And pretty to watch that football from the Hawks.
From 45 metres out directly in front, the kick looks pretty good. It's a goal.
Under lights that night, Brisbane jumped Carlton and at half-time led by close to 5 goals.
Alexander hooks back at goal. It's another one to the Bears.
As proved earlier in the day at Waverley, that meant nothing. It simply spurred Stephen Kernahan to greater heights, and the Blues stormed home.
Up from behind. Tremendous last half by him. Onto our Siri. Gets collected by Hutton. Sexton. Long kick. It'll be a score. It's coming around. It'll be a goal.
St Kilda hadn't beaten Essendon in 12 years, but after 20 successive losses broke the drought at Waverley. Tony Lockett looked ominous, kicking 7.
Trying to get back to help out, but Big Tony takes it. Who now swings onto his left and goes for Lockett. That's his target. And Big Tony just pushes Fox out of the way legitimately. 20 metres out to put the Saints in front for number 6 for Tony.
And Saints fans looked on with pride at the magic of Nicky Winmar.
With him is Bauer. Still Winmar recovered brilliantly. Goes to the goals. And what a kick by Winmar. He celebrates and so do the Saint fans as they draw away.
Both Footscray and Adelaide had promised plenty and came into 1992 as potential finalists. At Football Park, 40,000 of the Crows' most vocal supporters were quietened by the Bulldogs, led from the front by skipper Dougie Hawkins.
Now, a chance for Footscray through Hawkins. Can he kick his second? He can. Well done, Doug Hawkins.
And coach Terry Wheeler was giving nothing away.
I was always sure we could beat the Crows because the Crows have an Achilles heel which can really be their downfall. That's for other coaches and for the Crows now to find out what it is, but we know it.
You don't want to give me just a little hint?
No.
Alan Jakovic had looked out of sorts over the summer, but Melbourne looked to him for a memorable 7-goal bag against Geelong in round 2.
Towards the pocket, Jakovic hands to it, controls it, finds it on the ground, 15 metres out, goal. Number 2.
Andrew Lamprell had a dream debut. This was goal of the day in his very first AFL match.
Snapshot by Lamprell, the rookie. Oh, and what a kick for his first. It's a goal.
The versatility of Stephen Silvani hasn't been questioned, and so he enjoyed a rare spell up forward against Hawthorn.
Look for a free kick, advantage paid, and Silvani kicks his third.
I think they've been a bit lenient on the throw too. I've seen a couple that would certainly have been a throw.
Here's Silvani with a chance versus Madigan. Silvani, goal!
The son of Surge kicked 8 goals, and the underrated Carlton caused the first big upset by toppling Hawthorn.
Bang it to Silvani. You back him from here. Well, that's bread and butter for Stephen, isn't it? What a great mark.
It was a round that had upsets. Sydney provided a stunner, beating 1991 grand finalist West Coast by 3 points.
Gets it out to McGovern, 40 metres out, good looking kick, it's a goal.
The goal here would put Sydney in front. I don't think with that kick it won't get the distance. Into the goals. Won't matter. McKenzie, goal, Sydney leads.
St Kilda kicked themselves out of contention when they visited Footscray. 9:22 wasn't enough to beat the Bulldogs. While Lockett was restricted to 3, Dougie Hawkins was on fire with 5.
David Grant. Coleman held a couple back for Kellett. Here's a chance. Kellett with a bounce. He's got Atkins inside of him. Still Kellett. Well played, Chris Grant to hold Winmar off. Kellett's kick gives Hawkins a hope. Oh, what a mark! You little champion, Dougie. For his 5th goal, straight through the middle.
And how about Fitzroy? Fresh from a memorable night series in the Foster's Cup, they showed that Kevin Sheedy would have a tough year at Essendon. With Osborne kicking 7, it was Fitzroy by 52 points. And that didn't really even reflect an 11-goal last quarter by the Bombers. To round 3, and a poor crowd witnessed the beginning of Melbourne's woes at Princes Park. In front of 9,000 brave souls, Adelaide came from behind to win by 9 points.
That's a beautiful roost, and he's got a goal. No, he hasn't. Brown, a quick kick with the left foot up towards half forward. Linda missed the mark. Ball out the back to Liptak. That might be Melbourne's last opportunity. And there's the siren. Adelaide has won it, and it's a goal on the siren.
Nearby at Victoria Park, Collingwood accounted for Sydney.
Dacos, a freak! A magnificent goal by Peter Dacos.
But the talking point was Craig Kelly's confrontation with Ben Doolan. Doolan lost 3 teeth. Kelly lost 5 matches. No one, including St Kilda, had heard of Danny Metropolis when the Saints called into Subiaco. By the time they left, he was the talk of the town. He kicked 6 goals on debut for the Eagles and assisted his team to a 33-point win.
55 metres out. His first kick is a goal, is it? Yes!
Kemp has the footy at right half forward. Oh, Langdon goes at Harvey. But the football goes on and Metropolis has marked the pass just outside 50 metres. No one home. Sum it up quickly, he does. And he bangs away with a lovely drop punt, another goal.
Nicky Winmar provided the aerial highlight.
Across his body, Winmar!
The Lions were hot favourites when they visited Carrara. The Brisbane Bears, however, brought them unstuck.
Backline, White, probably the first mistake he's made, but oh, look at the skills of White. And a short little pass, may have been better to go longer, but he's followed it up, picked it up now, eluded one player, shoots in towards goal. There is a magical piece of football. Ashcroft is in everything at the moment. He gets the hand pass away to Gastev, who wants to straighten up. He does. He's outside 50, shoots in towards goal. Good looking kick. Oh, what a mark!
Roger Merritt bringing back visions of his best in the old days at Essendon. A Friday night match at the MCG caused chaos for the crowds trying to get in to see North Melbourne and Carlton. 43,000 saw Carlton stay undefeated after 3 matches.
A quick kick, and he goes! Meldrum applies a good shepherd. Alvin again. He's made it number 4.
In a round that attracted good crowds, another 54,000 trekked to Waverley Park for a replay of the 1990 grand final between old protagonists Collingwood and Essendon.
Now Williams, long kick. Salmon's got to try and make the ground. Well played, Watson. Brilliant to Christian and McEwen for a goal. Put it down to Watson, though.
It was an 11-point win to the Magpies, spearheaded by Shane Watson, who booted 5. but the cost was enormous. An injury list a mile long featured stars of the quality of Dacos, McGuan and Wright. Trying to work out the form early on was a nightmare. Fitzroy bounced back to win against Adelaide.
Would have been too appreciative of that. Did well to get a left foot to it. Snapshot. Oh, what a great goal. Has he got that? He has.
Osborne with 5 again providing the spark.
Lyon, chance for Osborne. He's kicked another one.
St Kilda too were hard to fathom. They kicked 8 goals in a marvellous first term against Hawthorn.
Back from Fletcher it comes again. Morris kicks long to half forward, low, causing major problems. Here's another one. This will be Winmar. The Saints are alight.
Although the Hawks hit back hard, the Saints, with Lockett firing in 6 goals, held on to win by 10 points.
We could be watching Dunstall at the other end. As it is, Lockett has kicked the goal, I fancy. He has.
Geelong went to Perth in a celebratory mood. Gary Ablett kicked 5 in his 150th game. The Cats kicked 11 in the second quarter. Their flight home was full of talk of their first win in the West. It was only the 3rd loss in 26 matches at home for the Eagles.
Does it nicely round Lamb. Riccardi sets sail for goal and kicks a beauty.
Probing kick down towards the kick-off line. Darcy's in front. It bounces free behind. Ablett off the ground, another one.
The topsy-turvy form of the Sydney Swans had everyone guessing in round 5. The Gary Buckenara-coached Swans upset Carlton, inflicting the first defeat of the season on the men from Princes Park. The Swans were 2-2. Amazingly, Hawthorn dropped from the 6. The second week in a row they were beaten, this time by their great foes of the mid-80s, Essendon.
Well played Buick to kick it to long. This would be champagne if he can goal. Drop punt and he has.
Dunstall kicked 7, but with Salmon kicking 6 for the Bombers at the other end, Essendon were home by 27 points.
Versus Langford. Oh, good mark, just too tall.
While Hawthorn slumped to 9th position, the West Coast Eagles had nothing to gloat over. Under lights at Carrara, the top-ranked side of 1991 were held to a draw by the Wooden Spooners of the same year. Ray Windsor kicked 2 goals for Brisbane, including the leveller.
It goes straight up in the air. They contest 15 metres out. No contest. Windsor has taken this mark. Now he knows. A kick after the siren to tie for the young man. Ray Windsor's done it. It's a goal. It's a tie at Carrara.
For the 3rd week in a row, crowds were top 200,000. And in round 6, they were treated to some marvellous action.
Get the hand pass away. Greg, fantastic hands by Dean Gregg and Fletcher. The kick to the goal square. Lockett, 6 goals.
St Kilda again got away to a lightning start against Carlton. But a 4-goal lead at half-time wasn't enough for victory.
On the run, O'Sullivan. He hauls it in brilliantly and goes for the goal. And the scores are level.
O'Sullivan gets the lovely little hand pass to Bradley. Bradley wider still. Kernahan's got 3 or 4 metres on Morris. Handballs to himself. Goes on, the bounce was very kind.
Oh, don't
and
tell me.
It's a miracle goal.
72,000 were at Waverley Park for yet another great Hawthorn-Collingwood showdown. They weren't disappointed.
He finds Dacos. Collingwood wanting goals badly. Dacos lets go with a torpedo punt. It's a magnificent kick. Can that lift the Maggies?
Condon, another handball. Ben Allen, a magnificent kick. Dunstall couldn't trap it, but it's a loose ball job, and look at that. He walked around and said, thank you very much for a goal. He went in after it. He allowed Hudson to grab it. Hudson hooks it back in front of goal. Here's a chance for Hawthorn. Pritchard cleverly. Dunstall, dangerous Dunstall.
Dunstall kicked 9. Despite a last quarter fade-out, the Hawks won by 4 goals. Melbourne discovered a new way to lose at the MCG against Essendon. 47 points up early in the last quarter, they stopped as the Bombers slammed in 8 goals to snatch the most improbable of wins by a solitary behind. And memories of this kick at action didn't help. In the second one-point result of the round, the brittleness of the West Coast Eagles was exposed. This time from the unlikeliest of sources, Richmond.
Always looks as though he's got an hour to spare. Away to Hogg. Hogg into an open goal. Angle awkward, but kick is brilliant. Jeffrey Hogg.
With one win from 5 games, they were the underdogs. But with Alan Jeans in charge, they looked a different side. A 5-goal final term helped the Eagles escape total humiliation.
Right on the line, it's taken over. No, Pios caught. Langdon will kick it. Gets the goal.
Poor old Adelaide had no answer to the goal-kicking feats of Plugger Lockett. For Rabin in round 7, the big bloke casually popped through 10 more, make it 32 in 3 games against the Crows.
So Lockett for number 6. He runs round. Oh, he's threaded a magical goal.
Well, just seconds remaining. But he's going to get his 10. Well, Scott Lee is Father Christmas. Lockett. It's good.
While Lockett had single-handedly upset Adelaide, Jason Dunstall himself actually beat Richmond by 14 points. Dunstall kicked 17-5 and narrowly missed Fred Fanning's 45-year-old mark of 18. It was enough to give the Hawks victory number 4 and take Dunstall to the top of the goal-kicking with 55 in 7 games. Mick Malthouse must have been wondering what else could happen to the Eagles in 1992. If the loss to Sydney, the draw against Brisbane weren't bad enough, a loss to Fitzroy and Hobart just topped it off. Darren Wheeldon kicked 6, including this freak.
Towards the pocket. Wheeldon goes off the ground. It's his afternoon. What sort of a goal is that?
Greg Williams picked the wrong day to make his first appearance for the Blues. Carlton had no answer to Footscray in front of 49,000 at the MCG. Collingwood kicked 6 in a 56-point drubbing. The Bulldogs retained top spot on the ladder. If there was one standout for round 7, it was surely Geelong's record-breaking performance against Brisbane. Dunstall missed by a kick. Geelong didn't. The Cats kicked 37-17, 239 to eclipse Fitzroy's 13-year-old mark by a point.
If Geelong are to get it, they have to break from the centre. They have done. Forsman up towards full forward. Brownless. Well, he'll kick the score most assuredly. There's only seconds left, but all he needs to do is kick it behind, and Geelong will hold the record score, and the Bears will have the, well, unenviable record of being the team that the record score was kicked against. Brownless kicks it behind. There's the siren. Geelong today, May the 3rd, 1992, have kicked the all-time VFL, AFL record score, 37-17, 239, and they've defeated Brisbane 11-9-75.
The old-timers did laps of honour.
John Nichols.
The fireworks lit up the skies over the Melbourne Cricket Ground. More than 80,000 turned up on a Thursday night in May to celebrate a unique centenary. 100 years after Collingwood played its first match against Carlton, the two sides met again. The fiercest rivals in league history put on a fairly tame show. As has happened so often in the past, it was Carlton's turn.
Here's Spalding. He's still getting around the Collingwood players. Earl Spalding by 40 metres. What a great goal!
And he kicks beautifully. His delivery was a delight to watch. Kernahan, perhaps too far out to score, but he's going long. 55 metres. It's very, very long.
Kernahan topped off the night with 7 goals and a 33-point win. For the second week in a row, Geelong topped the double century. This time Adelaide on the end of a 32-goal to 12 thrashing. All the Cats forwards fired, with Brownless kicking 7 and Ablett 6.
Down towards half forward, probing kick. Brownless is up. Could have almost got a free kick for a push in the back. It falls to Ablett. It's another goal.
Number 5.
With their most outstanding season for years, Fitzroy won its 4th from 7 when Richmond fell victim. Osborne kicked 8 and the Lions won by 59 points. Brett Heady returned to the Eagles lineup and spurred his side to a great win over Footscray at Subiaco.
He can go back to Heady and does. He's just outside the 50. Vacant goal square. Heady may have got the goal. He has.
2 goals to Heady.
The Eagles kicked 8 goals to 1 point in the first term, and with Heady kicking 7, were never troubled against the ladder leaders.
Elects to pass instead, and Heady claims the mark. It was a half volley. Oh, terrible defence by Mansfield. Heady's kicked the goal.
Clean possession.
The avalanche of goals continued for Geelong. This time Essendon copping the 57-point hiding as the Cats stacked up 28 goals.
Off to Bruns, and Bruns kicks a goal in his first game back this year. Handy, a terrific hand pass to Bruns, who's made a great return. He kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Ablett, he hasn't got the mark, but I tell you what, watch the goal. Gary Ablett, you little beauty.
For the Bombers, there was one shining light. It came neatly packaged in the number 9 Guernsey belonging to Derek Kickett.
Shot for goal by Anderson. Kickett's got it again! Oh. Let's have a look at what Derek Kickett can do with this. Oh! My golly, my gosh, my gee, Derek Kickett, you have slayed them dead.
Peter Sumich kicked 6 goals on his return to the West Coast lineup.
Gets it to Lamb, who's been a fine player. Sumich on the lead. Very good mark. And that's a heartening sign for Eagles fans. Peter Sumich directly in front. It's a goal.
Despite the Eagles winning by 24 points, it was Steve Silvani who stole the individual honours. For the second time in the season, he kicked 8.
He does.
And for the second time this season, Richmond had a win. A 32-point victory over Sydney at the MCG.
The open spaces. Here's a charge for a goal into the goal square. Nash has got it. And again it came from Barry Young. Rebounds to Lambert. He'll give the hand pass away. Long hand pass into the goal square. Hogg will kick another one.
Hogg kicked 5. Not that he'd remember them.
Looks for Hogg. Oh!
The final match of round 9 saw 44,000 under lights at Football Park in Adelaide for Collingwood's debut in the city of churches.
Good take though by Lehman, can goal from here, goes for it from 40 metres and kicks it through.
They would win despite erratic kicking by the merest of 5 points.
An opportunity for Watson, Manson, McEwen to kick a goal round his body.
The fiery and often brilliant David Rhys-Jones finally reappeared with Carlton. Made his presence felt with 4 goals against Essendon.
The Hyphen makes it through. And they love him. That's Welsh again. Rhys-Jones off the ground. Oh, he's got it! He's got the goal! What a ripper!
The Blues were back in the 6 and definitely back in town for 92. When Geelong, first, met Collingwood, third, on neutral ground at Waverley Park, 60,000 roaring fans knew something had to give.
Playing at centre-half forward, Manson.
And he's hurt himself, James, I think. He's in a bit of pain there.
There's a pretty
Jimmy.
Pretty face for you. And maybe a tactic there. They may not want him to have that shot at goal from the forward pocket. It could be a set play.
Well, it's a very important kick inside the last minute, but that could be a tragedy for Collingwood at the same time. Let's watch McEwen. No. Yes, he's snuck it back. He's brought it back for a goal. And Manson has made an extraordinary recovery.
Oh, no wonder the umpire was suspicious about that one.
Listen to the... Oh, boy. Oh, it's going to be on now.
Well, Manson just went abused there.
Level at half-time, it would be Geelong who succumbed to the big match pressure.
A chance here for Collingwood. Shane Morwood hooks it back. Oh, magnificent goal by Morwood.
Dacos kicked 5 goals, but none was more spectacular than this one.
Dacos at the back. Can he produce something special here? Oh, yes he can.
He celebrated in agony with strained shoulder ligaments.
He's brought the ground and gets a push in the back. You'll hear there's some ironical cheers here. And there's an injury. Is that Dacos?
St Kilda gave Brisbane a hiding, with Lockett kicking another 12. He'd kicked 54 in 9 games. Melbourne plucked a 17-year-old named Sean Charles from obscurity. The youngster fired with 5 goals in the Demons' 36-point win over North. Only their second win for the season.
Welcome back to That Was the Season That Was, 1992. Controversy again dogged the State of Origin matches. Some of the top players again needed convincing that representative matches were of importance to the future of our game. For the first time in nearly 20 years, the West Australians would meet Victoria on the MCG. The Sandgropers had never won there, and a crowd of 30,000 were on hand to back the Big V's long-time domination.
For the first time, a State of Origin match was played under lights at the MCG. But Western Australia's hopes of providing a first of their own were shattered.
Concedes about 25 metres. Kick it battling there with Harvey. Clever mark Harvey. Sweeping hand pass out wide. This is Hinkley. In trouble. Centering kick. Burke and/or support. Brown. Brown 40 metres out. Telling kick. It's a goal.
Wine continues where he left off. So too does Harvey with a powerful kick in towards Lockett. Dorotich had front spot, did well to spoil. Oh, Lockett's recovery, marvellous. Shrugs 2 tackles, kicks high, has kicked a miraculous goal. What a start by the Big V.
Gary Ablett tonight.
Aren't they confident, the Victorians, Dennis? Look, they're all up over near the centre of the ground. No one in their back line. They're running now.
They want it kicked on. There's Scott down towards the pocket. It's very cold out there. Jakovic over the ball. They left it for Lockett. He snaps. Oh, terrific. It's another one.
The big white V was rampant early. 32,000 seeing Lockett kick 5 goals and teammate Stewie Lowe kick 4.
Lowe's kicked 3. Kicks from 45. It's good.
The Vics won by 67 points. Lowe was best of field and winner of the E.J. Whitten medal.
Scott, Lockett.
He's got a bad shoulder too. The physio has come off the ground. Just due to Tony Lockett as he comes in.
Almost directly in front.
But for Saints fans, it wasn't all good news, with Lockett missing 2 weeks with a shoulder injury.
But he's not right.
Actually, he's coming off the ground.
6 weeks later, the Vics went to Adelaide's Football Park. This time, they went as underdogs. The South Australians are tough to beat at home at the best of times. When they kicked 10 goals in the second term, they'd opened up a great lead.
He's got a couple to beat. Thumped down by Bays. Jarman brilliantly. Darren Jarman on the left foot. Have a look at that for football.
Steve Kernahan has had a great season. He played brilliantly in his 300th senior game with 6 goals and helped the Crow Eaters to a 13-point win.
On Bays, Kernahan for his 5th goal, goes for it and kicks it. 5 for Kernahan.
Here's Gary Lyon. Oh, he's lost it. Andrew Oxt, the short one. Tony Hall used his body beautifully on Hinkley. Will it sit for him? He picks it up on the boundary line. Oh, look at this! Oh, what a kick, Tony Hall! Sensational goal!
That was the goal of the night.
Adam Saliba goes to ground, tries to get in a hand pass. Wanganeen weaves through the pack. Wayne Carey fires in the goal. It's a goal! Wayne Carey's kicked a great goal. South Australia hit the puck.
Well, South Australia will win it now because there's 12 seconds remaining and they lead by 7 points. Bays gives it away down the centre. Francis, with this kick the goal, goes for it and goals, and that's it. That's it. That's the ball game. Siren sounds. Shaw and Francis together, the 2 Collingwood heroes.
South Australia quite deservedly the champion team for 1992, and didn't they love it in the city of churches? Well, as we approach the midway mark of the season, 2 of the expected finalists were languishing in 7th and 8th position. St Kilda and Hawthorn had shown only flashes of the form that had taken them to the heights earlier on. We pick up the action now in round 11. The match down Corio way between St Kilda and Geelong.
The Locketless Saints could count themselves unlucky with a 3-point loss to Geelong at Cardinia Park. While big Stewie Lowe filled in with 6 goals, the overall class of the Cats shone through.
They only trail by 10 points. Next goal vitally important. Here's Stoneham a chance. A handball to Forsman. Now it's Riccardi racing into an open goal, and Peter Riccardi has made the difference 4 points.
Paul Brown kicked the clincher.
Vidovic goes at it. Burke wins it. Brown tries to pinch it. Snapshot. He's got the goal!
That same three-point margin separated Fitzroy and Collingwood. The two old neighbours met at Princess Park in the other heartstopper in round 11. The Magpies kicked 5 goals in the last term. When Gary Pert goaled against his old side, the Magpies looked home.
Here's the goal. Pert goals. Collingwood in front.
Seconds later, his good friend and former teammate Paul Roos answered with the winner.
Roos! No, unable. Still an opportunity. Abbott can't crash his way through. Roos' left foot kick is a goal. Unbelievable finish.
Proving just how tough they are to beat at home, Footscray regained top spot on the ladder when they upset the reigning premiers.
Royal, who ships around the corner for an excellent goal. Ryan Royal.
Kellett, nice to see him back after 3 games out with injury. Coleman dashes onto it and takes another mark. Here's another goal for Brian Royal. Nobody in front. Royal goes all the way and kicks a ripper.
The 34-point win was overshadowed the next week when Paul Deere was suspended for 4 matches for tripping Peter Foster.
Tripped.
Sadly, Foster broke his leg in the incident.
Foster, I think. Peter Foster had his legs just kicked right out from underneath him by Paul Deere.
One of the most controversial incidents of the season included Sydney's Barry Mitchell and Essendon's Sean Denham. Denham would be suspended for his part, and his evidence implicated Mitchell. Although later suspended, Mitchell would successfully appeal in court. The midway mark of the season, round 12, and the 6 was taking shape. Essendon was paying the penalty for a late start, but found form against Richmond.
In towards the square, and a great running goal has been kicked by Todd Ridley. Under pressure. Made little if any contact. Kick it. Look at that hand pass of Derek Kickett. Like lightning to Ridley, who has a couple of bounces. 3 in fact. He's across the centre. Good shepherding, sees him clear. Here's 4. He might kick a goal from 52 metres. It's a long kick. I reckon he's kicked it. What a goal!
Once they were talked of as merging, but Footscray in 1992 was emerging as a real premiership threat for the first time since 1961.
One tackle, left foot snapshot. That's not bad. That's a great goal, Liver. Sensational kick.
This day they inflicted a 10-goal hiding on Fitzroy for their 9th win in 11 matches.
Royal, Hawkins into the goal square. Grant goal. No mergers here, anything but as things become a little bit heated. Farms the hand pass out, Lupa Torre onto Super. McPherson can go all the way here, 35 metres out, and he's got another one. A 10-goal quarter for Footscray.
A true test of Carlton's improvement would come in a showdown against Geelong, in front of 62,000 at the MCG.
They're coming, the ball spills, and it's a snap for goal by Spalding and a goal.
Once again, it was Ablett with 5 goals who helped his side to victory.
Up over centre wing. Geelong have the numbers. Ablett has the ball. Gary Ablett bouncing up towards the 50. Nobody approaches him. He goes for goal. What a sensational goal!
The Queen's birthday holiday produced 2 nail-biters. A point would be the margin in both games. Only 21,000 went to Waverley, but they were rewarded with Adelaide's stunning victory over Hawthorn. While Dunstall kicked 7 goals, it was this goal from Darryl Hart that sealed it for the Crows.
Darryl Hart! Has it cleared the line? Yes!
There were 80,000, however, at the MCG, and the drama was just as tense. These two sides had put on some thrillers over recent years, and the feelings were as tense within their own camps.
Gee, look at this. It's Coughlin and Shaw immediately. Have a look what's happened here at half-time. The shades of the grand final 2 years ago at quarter-time.
Well, it's certainly
They've come from everywhere. Coughlin and Shaw originally, and it's on, as you can see. Dramatic scenes at half-time. Winmar and Richardson and McEwen were left, right and centre. If there wasn't enough drama in the first half anyway.
Well, it has settled down, I think. Not too much happening now, just a lot of pushing and shoving.
Sheldon had a word to Devonport.
Look at that. Now that tells you what discipline is all about. The man who's played in the premiership sides telling the youngster.
And later, Craig Devonport would have those words ringing in his ears as he snapped the goal that gave the Saints another historic 1-pointer over the Magpies.
Davison is over the goal square. Devonport puts the Saints in front.
The ladder, after round 12, made very interesting reading. Footscray, a game clear on top, just 3 years after the club looked destined to be absorbed into Fitzroy and disappear from the league scene. Geelong was in second place with a whopping percentage, courtesy of a string of massive wins, and sentimental favourites Fitzroy dropped from contention. Down the bottom, Melbourne was having a miserable season, and the knives were out for coach John Northey after 2 wins from 11 games. Carlton were a team to watch, and in round 13 they faced a crucial test against Adelaide.
Carlton's young blood were providing great support for their older and more experienced teammates. And this was certainly evident in round 13 when the Blues met and defeated Adelaide.
He had Bradley free, but he goes for the long kick in. Picking the ball up now is the swooper. He goes the banana kick, a sensational goal. Smart now, Ben Hart. Fit of the fumbles, keeps his eye on it. Pressured by Bradley. Kudafidi smothered by Daryl Hart. Swert run down, a good tackle, McDermott. Oh, play Kudafidi, he's a goal. Well done, young fellow. Well, that'll lift them.
The youthful Lions, however, came up against the most tried forward line in the business when they fell to Hawthorn.
Beats Gower's open goal, Dunstall his third.
All the old guns fired for the Hawks, including Jason Dunstall, who kicked 7, as his season's tally rose to 85. At Moorabbin, it was another tour de force from Tony Lockett. A personal best haul of 15 goals shattered Sydney. Sunday in Perth, Collingwood pulled off one of the great escapes, beating the Eagles by a point.
Wrenched free by Saunders. Francis in after it. Gets boot the ball. It's a high ball.
Oh, he's marked it.
Williams is marked.
He can level the scores. Tasmanian, best first-year player last year. Collingwood.
What pressure. We have a draw. The scores are level.
Now this is important. Who'll get it away from the centre?
Oh, what a game we've seen here at Subiaco. Monkhorst bangs it. Brown bangs it. It's up to 50 metres. Oh, Rowe! Williams, Collingwood will score and win the game. Will they? Lehman. He scored. It's a point. My golly, 7 seconds left. Collingwood will win the game.
The Magpies lost Craig Kelly for the season with a knee.
There, has gone. Look at him, immediately grimacing and grabbing the left knee. He's gone, Craig Kelly.
The grand finalists of 1991 returned to Waverley Park, 9 months on, and how things had changed. Hawthorn took the early lead this time, and it would be the West Coast who came from behind to win.
Oh, what a great effort by back there, Clappe. He still recovers and kicks the goal. Well done.
Mark of the day and round 14, Darren Jarman.
Weaving finds some space for himself and kicks it out to the wing. High, what a mark! Mark of the day, Darren Jarman.
Sumich kicked 5. The Eagles won their 7th by 14 points.
He's going to put the Eagles in the box seat from 50 metres. Good looking kick in towards goal. He's got it. Jarman and Jenke cannot believe it.
Fitzroy's slender hopes of grabbing a finals berth took a remarkable turn for the better when they disposed of Carlton in emphatic style. The Lions had Wheeldon and Fleming kick 4 apiece, and a 19-point win saw them in 7th spot.
Fleming! What a fantastic mark. Could this be the start of a regular career in the seniors for him? Fleming on the way. There's his 4th goal. Fleming.
Despite fierce opposition from Collingwood president Alan McAllister, the round 14 match against Footscray was moved from Victoria Park to the MCG. It enabled 67,800 people to see the showdown, and again it turned out to be a beauty.
Tutor Royal. Where's Rocker? There he is. Rocker from 40 metres. On the siren, Severio Rocker has kicked it.
The Magpies had been involved in a string of tight finishes, and for the 5th time in 6 games, a kick would separate the teams. This time it would be Collingwood by a goal. The only goal they scored in a tension-packed final term.
Beautiful handball!
Adelaide had every chance of beating Essendon under lights on the Sunday afternoon, but they blew it.
Right there. Jarman trying to take it away. Tasker, kick it, still with the ball. Denham, handball back. Kick by Salmon, goal.
Leading at half-time, the Crows had no answer to Paul Salmon, who kicked 9. It enabled his side to scoot away to a 44-point win.
And now an opportunity for the Bombers. They've turned this defence around. Buick gets in behind them, can go over the top to Anderson. Anderson with a little time, measures the kick, goes long and splits the middle. It's all over.
A 7-goal final term broke the deadlock for St Kilda in their crucial home game against North in round 15. And once again, the one-man show, Tony Lockett, provided the key.
Oh, great play to Lockett as it's got knocked on by Kicken. 8 goals to Tony Lockett.
Tiger kicked 9 goals as the Saints strengthened their hold on third place with an 8-point win.
Back to Kicken. Snapshot from him. Oh, that's a great goal. Goal of the day. Oh.
It was another full forward who did the damage at the MCG. Last year, Peter Simic kicked a century. This year, he had injury worries, but all was forgotten when he booted 11 against Essendon.
Number 2 for Peter Simic.
17-15 to 9-6. Sumich for goal number 10. Goal umpire hasn't moved.
Carlton's finals hopes took a turn for the worst when they fell to Richmond at Waverley Park. John Dorotich had the chance to win the game off his own boot. He was offline, and the Tigers survived for win number 4 by only 3 points. In the Battle of Geelong Road, the 2 highly fancied premiership contenders would lock horns at Cardinia Park.
Poor kick, straight to Minch. Minch runs in from 50 metres. Can he kick a goal? I think he has. There's their 4.
Mansfield towards half forward once again. Couch crunched. Socket off the ground by Atkins. To half forward, McGrath caught one in the eye. Play goes on. Grant a chance to give it to Atkins. 25 metres out. The Dogs are going to hit the front.
In a seesawing encounter, Geelong would retain top spot on the ladder, beating Footscray by 9 points.
Brownless caught. Gets the hand pass to Bairstow. 40 metres out. Round his body. That's it. That's it.
Up at Carrara, Hawthorn escaped against Brisbane. Looking only a shadow of the side that dominated the late 80s and early 90s, the Hawks had to rely on Tony Hall to win the game in the dying seconds.
Nixon across his body inside the 50. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Great mark, Hall.
Courage goes out the door with Hall, doesn't he? It's terrific.
They trail by 2 points. Hall goes for goal. A lot riding on this kick. Oh, it's a great kick for the Hawks. It's a goal.
Over recent years, Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles had fought out some great finals battles. In round 16, Melbourne showed that despite their lowly position on the ladder, 14th, they could still offer some opposition.
A little more, but that's a marvellous kick. It's shepherded through by Bennett. It's a goal.
The Eagles scraped home by 22 points.
Chance to make amends in the grasp. Gets the kick off. Lunging attempt by Cuthbertson. He missed it. Langdon picks it up. Kicks. Oh, that's cruel for Melbourne.
It was the round that saw Hawthorn's Jason Dunstall kick 9 and top the 100 mark for the 3rd time.
Dunstall, and could this be number 100? Well, this is a soda for his 100th. Leans back, straight through the middle. 100 goals, Jason Dunstall.
And here come the Hawk fans. There's going to be a hold up here because they're streaming onto the ground. Out come the mounted police. But what a fine achievement by Jason Dunstall. 100 goals.
In front of 25,000 at Cardinia Park, it was enough to set the Hawks on the road to a great win over Geelong. Fellow spearhead Tony Lockett was meanwhile held goalless by Essendon. And St Kilda, without his inspiration, failed by 28 points. Their position in the 6 was looking shaky.
Look at this man go. Off the left, right to the goal line. Wanganeen. Oh, it carries the pack for a goal.
Winmar, however, looks superb.
Breaks towards the full forward. Oh, we're being treated to some play here.
A poor crowd of only 13,000 were at Waverley Park to see Footscray again underline its improvement. This time Adelaide was on the receiving end of an 87-point drubbing.
Too often, and he's got the goal.
Brian Royal enjoyed the day. In fact, he kicked 6.
Oh, Royal, will he get another one? 30 metres out directly in front, he has. Choco's got 6.
Two sides well out of the finals race put on the best show in round 17 of Princes Park. Richmond kicked 7 goals in a brilliant final term and narrowly failed to catch North Melbourne. Jeff Hogg had a chance to take the points. His miss left Richmond short by 1 solitary point. It has always been a true test to win at Moorabbin, and Footscray did that in impressive fashion.
But out comes Del Rey. He's tackled by Frawley from behind. No free kick from the umpire. Royal over the back, gives it to Coleman, who just waltzes across the line with a goal.
While Lockett kicked another 6, Danny Del Rey's 5 was enough to offset it.
Grant, body to body. It's Del Rey to kick his 5th. Go, boy, and through. 5 for Danny.
The Bulldogs' 12th win, a 13-point margin.
Gets it out cleverly onto Croft, and Croft goes with the left foot. It's an important kick. The Dogs are back in front.
McPherson, oh gee, they just paved the way for him. And through went Stephen with a long kick to centre half forward. Oh, at the back, missed by Pekin. Here's a chance. Royal, Colinick, important kick. Left foot, go, goal. It could be enough.
For the second time in the season, Carlton upset Hawthorn, seriously denting the reigning Premier's hopes.
Bad miss. Jinky in front. Welsh at the back. Here's Mew. Oh, he's lost it to O'Sullivan. Luke O'Sullivan sprints in the goal. And from 40 metres, Luke O'Sullivan has goal.
The 52,000 at Waverley saw a tough, close, low-scoring game, won by the Blues by 2 goals.
Oh, Silvani did well to shepherd out Jarman. Alvin hits for goal. Tommy again.
Some reckon the game in Hobart between Essendon and Fitzroy was one of the games of the season. It's hard to argue.
Over the head of Osborne. Stays in. Richard Osborne unmarked. Kicks a goal. And the Lions have hit the front.
Salmon won the tap, but Wine took it away. Through comes Danaher, doing well. Left-hand handball to Buick. He can run in. He won't be able to bounce it, however. Goes with a torpedo. A great spiral. Goal of the day.
The margin was 3 points, with Gary O'Donnell kicking the clincher.
Couldn't control it, but Wallace can on the ground. Centres the ball for O'Donnell. O'Donnell sits. O'Donnell from 30 metres, straight in front. He doesn't miss it this time. Bombers in front.
Despite the rise in status, Footscray would be beaten twice in 1992 by Essendon.
Hills breaks the tackle, comes backwards to Plain. Plain goals.
The late-season revival by the Bombers, spearheaded by Paul Salmon, who kicked 7, interrupted the Bulldogs' preparations.
Long kick to Salmon. Salmon marks and goals.
The Brisbane Bears too found their bunny in Fitzroy. The second time in the season the Bears would claim the Lions' scalp. The hero for Brisbane came in the unlikely shape of former St Kilda and Melbourne goal sneak Rod Owen, who kicked 8. From the perfect weather in Perth to atrocious conditions at Waverley Park. This was the path taken by the West Coast Eagles, on the way to one of their most harrowing losses.
Missed it away. It's Winmar getting onto it quickly. An open goal square ahead. What has number 7 done? He's kicked the goal. Harvey commits his body to the ball, kicks it towards a 50-metre line. Russell Morris cleverly closes to 50 metres. Long kick towards full forward. Another goal to St Kilda.
Tony Lockett kicked 7 goals. St Kilda was on target with 15 from 20 scoring shots. Their defence kept the soggy Eagles to 3-11.
Superbly to take the ball out of the pack and bang it through for a goal.
The biggest crowd of the season to date saw Collingwood and Essendon under lights at the MCG on Friday, the opener to round 19. With a lead of a point at the last change, Essendon looked competitive.
Up to 50, bounce it again. He may kick a goal. A wonderful solo effort by Paul Hills.
But Collingwood managed to repeat their form from the grand final of 1990 on the same ground against the same opponents. Went on to win by 22 points.
Bounce back in the centre. Collingwood take it away through their captain Tony Shaw up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Rowe swoops on it. He's going to have a shot for goal. Rowe. It may be another Collingwood goal. It is. Collingwood on fire.
In a dismal last term, the Bombers were held to 2 behinds, and Collingwood were rewarded with top spot.
Dangerous because Rowe is like a Oh, he swoops in after it, he bounces. Oh, have a look at this. Brad Rowe, don't tell me he's going to kick this. A magnificent attempt. What a great goal.
The West Coast know all about home ground advantage. They paid little heed when they visited Geelong. The Eagles toppled the ladder leaders by 19 points. And to rub it in, the Cats lost superstar Gary Ablett with a hamstring.
Eagles through Clap A, long kick into the forward line. Sumich, here comes Turley. Turley runs into an open goal and puts it through.
For the third time, and second season in a row, Tony Lockett topped the ton.
Devonport, 50 metres out, looking for and finding Lockett. Tony Lockett out in front. I think they might be out there patting him on the back if he kicks this one, Tony Lockett. 30 metres. The umpire doesn't move. It's a goal to the big St Kilda forward, 100.
And here come the St Kilda fans careering onto the ground from all parts, north, south, east and west. And they're running towards their superhero, the big fella Tony Lockett.
His 6 goals in a massive 75-point thumping over Hawthorn took his tally to 104. High scoring was the order of the day in Adelaide too. Anthony Modra kicked 7 to match Fitzroy's entire goal total, and the Crows won by 85 points.
He kicks quickly up towards full forward. Lynch attacks the football, beaten for it by Hart. Unselfishly, Modra will get another one. 7 goals to Modra.
There have been times when it appeared that Hawthorn's long reign as the superpower of the AFL was drawing to a close. Then they dropped kindly reminders of their depth and talent. Such was the case when they slaughtered old rivals Essendon in round 20.
Kicks the ball forward, looking for Dunstall. He could have taken that one. Once again, Morrissey round the corner. Another ripper.
16 goals up by half-time, the same number of goals in the second half. A 160-point win was their biggest winning margin ever. Jason Dunstall enjoyed the day with 12 goals.
He decides to have a run. He looks for Dunstall and finds him with a classical left-foot spearing pass. He's kicked 9 goals, 7 to date, and from the 50-metre line, a great shot at goal. There's his 10th. Hudson a chance for his 4th. Dunstall should mark, and does. Dunstall's favoured side, so he plays on. And I think he might have kicked it this time, yes.
The margin at Victoria Park was only 9 points. And in a match reminiscent of the good old days between Melbourne and Collingwood, it was a thriller.
Boundary throw in. James Manson doing the ruck work for the Magpies. Over the top is Andy Goodwin, but only as far as Tony Shaw, and I think he may have threaded it through. He has. This is Matthew Phoebe. He's tackled very quickly by Scotty Russell. Pretty untidy play here. Tony Shaw, tremendous courage putting his body in. Sean White at the end of that hand pass on the left boot. He gets the kick away and he's put it through. Melbourne in front. Tumbles the kick into the forward line. A pretty ordinary kick there in the end from Rowe. Taken by Watson. Not much time left for Collingwood to get out of this. Play on call, love it. Andy Lovell, 45 metres on the left boot. And he has kicked the sealer for the Demons. It's all over here at Victoria Park.
The same 9-point margin separated Carlton and Sydney at the SCG on the Sunday.
Bradley, well played Bradley. He's off and running. He can straighten up. He kicks it in towards goal. A great goal, Bradley. Wheeler from 50 out. He slips. Can he get around 2? No. He gives a handball back to Holmes, who fires a goal, and it's through for the Sydney Swans.
Kernahan 6 took his tally to 69. And the Blues' 12th win kept them in the 6.
Or just on 3 minutes left in the game to be played. As Kernahan comes in, he lays back on it, but he makes no mistake, and the Blues are on their way.
Adelaide late season surge was highlighted at the MCG on the Sunday, when full forward Scott Hodges kicked 8. The Crows romped to a 110-point win over Richmond.
Well done by Micken to punch it down and keep it running towards goal. Well attacked by Hodges. Over the left shoulder he goes. It's home.
After a brilliant season in 1991, Hawthorn's Paul Hudson's form could be described as only indifferent. Against Collingwood in round 21, he found his touch.
Fumbles ever so slightly, but in a match with this sort of intensity, it's quite critical. Platten's kick to half forward, no mark to Hudson, finds some space. He's going to kick a goal, Paul Hudson. and he's kicked his third. Here's Johnston.
He kicked 6 and helped the Hawks to a 19-point win. A win that kept the Hawks in touch with the top 6.
Hudson well dispossessed there of Perth. From 50 metres, Paul Hudson goes for goal. What a wonderful kick by Paul Hudson.
The best quarter of football for the season? Geelong in Perth? Or this day at Waverley, when Carlton booted 11 in the third term to stun St Kilda? 2 umpires reported Carlton's Greg Williams on a forearm striking charge. He was found not guilty, to the Blues' obvious relief. The West Coast were equally relieved to overcome Richmond in wet and greasy conditions at Subiaco. 2 goals ahead at three-quarter time, the Eagles consolidated for their 13th win of the season.
Curley can't get his foot to the ball. Lennon is there, throws himself on the footy. Bannock, kick off the ground by Head, he's a goal.
For a side ranked number 2, like Footscray was in round 22, a thrashing to the tune of 82 points was hardly the perfect lead-up to the finals.
So good to be working with you again. High kick towards the 50-metre line. Reynolds hammers it away straight to Albert. Tommy kicks. Tommy goals.
It happened to the Bulldogs. Carlton providing the lesson and Kernahan kicking 7 of his 80 for the season to date.
It rebounds. Crediuk took it back towards the Carlton goal. Welsh, kick off the ground. Kernahan's got another one.
One sad note for the Blues was the loss of Matthew Hogg, who was suspended for belting his old teammate Brian Royal.
There'll be too much hanging on back there in that forward pocket.
Geelong too delivered a thumping, a 93-point drubbing over Brisbane. The low light was Peter Worsfold's 6-match suspension for striking Ken Hinkley after a trial by video charge. Hawthorn too had a huge percentage booster. Their win by 84 points over Richmond was highlighted by Jason Dunstall's 12 goals.
Here's his head, a poor kick by Johnston. Dunstall, oh look at the use of the body, good play by Dunstall. Oh, knocked on to Dunstall, Johnston. Dunstall's got it. Hooks it back for goal number 6. And what is it? I think it's a goal. Yes.
Centre square. Dunstall at the back. Doesn't quite get there for Hudson. Now Dunstall. Still Dunstall. Left foot. Gee, this is going to go through. I think it is.
Beautiful. So he kicks from 45 metres, a high floating drop punt for a goal number 12.
His 4th double-figure haul for the year. There was one close game. Collingwood, naturally enough, figured in it and won by a kick. 6 points, in fact, over North. The Pies had squandered a good lead and they'd been overtaken, but then thanks to Severio Rocker, they took the points. St Kilda slumped from the 6. A loss to Adelaide at Football Park suddenly threw their whole season into jeopardy. Despite having the chances, the Saints could manage only 5 behinds in the last term, and they lost by 16 points.
Ross set himself. Micken tapped it forward. Harvey's been busy in the last quarter. Caught. Play on court. Ross's handball. McDermott maybe should have left it for Hart. Goes for goal. Rolling goal. A goal. The captain has kicked the goal, which could sink the Saints.
The Magpies never forget. In round 23, they made up for Carlton, ruining their centenary celebrations earlier in the year with a brilliant win at Waverley Park.
Russell, so a chance for Collingwood off the turnover. Centering kick, Russell is good. Now Fraser, a question of accuracy, runs to 40 metres out, kicks, and I think he's got it. He has.
77,000 fans meant that more than 1 million spectators had seen them play during the season. A league first.
He's got one. He's kicked 1-4 now after 4 straight behinds.
The Magpies, with Dacos doing that little bit of magic, ensured that they would play in the finals and thrust Carlton into the hot seat.
And successfully finding McMullen, who had a great first quarter, kicked 4 behinds initially, and then capped it off with a beautiful goal. Rocker, too far underneath the ball. Dacos has been quiet. Off the ground, Mr. Magic has done it! Oh, what a magnificent goal!
Carlton's hopes hinged on the performance of St Kilda. It looked in all sorts of trouble against Melbourne at the MCG. The Saints overcame a three-quarter time deficit to kick 4 goals in the final quarter and record a 15-point win. In similarly atrocious conditions at the Western Oval, Footscray kicked only 7 goals for the day against the West Coast Eagles.
Is that a goal? It is.
Sockers it to his own advantage, or Del Rey's. Del Rey picks it up, he's 40 metres from goal. Corcoran is down there, nobody touched it, it's a goal.
Don't worry, the Eagles kicked only 3 in one of their worst performances ever.
Sockering off the ground, Heady quickly across to Waters, who kicks on the siren, and I think he's kicked a goal. The all clear has been given. Oh, they're record breakers.
Geelong had been sitting pretty on top of the ladder, but a shock loss to Adelaide was enough to have them worried.
Nothing doing. Wren gets the hand pass up to Tregenza. Jarman goes back to McGuinness, who thumps for goal and has kicked another one.
Hodges kicked 11, and the Cats suddenly found themselves locked in a 3-way tie for top spot with a round to go.
Hodges for goal number 11. And he dobs it.
We're set now for the second half. The big question is, can Sydney fight back and not take the wooden spoon?
It might not have been the most attractive fixture of the season, but the clash under lights at the Sydney Cricket Ground meant a lot for the combatants, Richmond and the Swans. The wooden spoon was at stake. In his last appearance as coach, Alan Jeans led Richmond to a 5-goal win, and for the first time since 1975, when they played as South Melbourne, the Swans finished last.
Now gets boot to ball. What a kick! That is one of the most amazing goals you'll ever see.
One man who'd been through the whole move north to the harbour city was Steve Wright. He kicked his last goal.
Chips it in short, and he found Stevie Wright, your little beauty.
Yeah, the Sydney supporters, the ones that are here, getting behind Wright, they realise this is his last game.
246 AFL games, a magnificent achievement by little Stevie Wright as he kicks and he's put it through.
And that was his 247th career goal.
And took his final salute during an emotional farewell with his young son. Emotions ran high when the Bombers' great triumvirate, Timmy Watson, Terry Danaher and Simon Madden said goodbye. 3 former captains, 3 legendary champs, all accepted the acclamation of the crowd. Many thought it would be the end for the Hawks. The power team of the last decade had to beat Melbourne to win a place in the finals for the 11th year in a row.
Really marked by Schwartz. It could have been a free kick, but the advantages with Melbourne, Sullivan's little kick into the forward pocket, and a good mark is taken by Djakovic in front of Chris Langford.
Good decision by the umpire there. Schwartz actually did take that mark, Robert. He paid the advantage.
Djakovic tries to get around Langford successfully. And magnificent stuff by Djakovic. Goal!
Melbourne jumped Hawthorn early, and when star ruckman Stephen Lawrence injured his groin, the Hawks' hopes looked shaky.
By Greg Healy.
And he's hurt himself too. Is it his knee? Can't take his kick by the looks. No, Platten's going to take it for him. Or is it his groin again?
It would be Darren Jarman who settled things for the reigning premiers. His couple of crucial goals helped his side to a 19-point win in what would be John Northey's last hurrah as coach of the Demons.
Good running by Jarman. He'll go all the way. Just won't come back for him. But he goes for the goal and kicks it. Or was it touched right on the line? No, it made it.
And the ball close to the boundary line. Back goes Robbins. He's going to take a risk, and the Demons really have to. It may not come off. Jarman. Well, Darren Jarman will make them pay the penalty.
Tony Shaw put on the Aunt Sally show at Victoria Park. Twice he was knocked flat, and twice he climbed back to his feet.
Tony, that's 2 now.
Although he mightn't remember much about it, let the record show that Collingwood won by 5 points.
Rolling on. Smart went for it, missed it. Round the body by McCartney, goal.
The Crows had 27 scoring shots to 22 in their losing tally. But how about this goal from Mark Micken?
Oh, unbelievable. Unreal.
7 times the Magpies would play in matches that were decided by a kick in 1992.
The wrong option. Now he'll kick the Rovers goal. Round the body. There it goes.
It's home.
Carlton went to Perth on the impossible mission. They had to beat the West Coast Eagles on their home soil to win a place in the finals. A 7-goal first quarter burst from the Eagles blew the Blues out of contention.
Sumich goes off the ground. That's going close. It could be another one to the Eagles. It is. Harding probably got the honours so far. McIntosh will kick that superb goal. Sumich, he's got 2 so far. He'll get onto his left foot if he can. Plenty of space for him. Excellent Shepherd off the ball. He's now got 3.
3 teams topped the ladder with 16 wins in '92. They were Geelong, Footscray and Collingwood. But the Cats, with their whopping percentage, took top honours. Carlton missed out tragically for Blues supporters, despite finishing with the same number of wins as Hawthorn and St Kilda. As we said, Sydney took the wooden spoon and now face a summer of uncertainty as their top players face approaches from successful Melbourne-based clubs, and their future as tenant at the SCG once again comes under scrutiny. For the 3rd time, Jason Dunstall would collect the Coleman Medal. His tally of 139 goals saw him 16 clear of Tony Lockett. 12 players would kick 50 or more goals in the home and away series. We've seen plenty of great goals. Now let's just spend a few moments, though, enjoying the aerialists at work. These were some unforgettable marks taken during 1992.
Good kick by Paxman. Oh, was that a free kick? He put his hands right in the middle of the player's back.
Kick it in this situation. Loves it. He kicks well inside the attacking. Got the what a mark. Hodges.
Way to Roos, who kicks to half forward. Oh, yes, what a mark by Bull to Will.
Oh, what a mark. Fantastic leap by Ridley.
Wearing possibly the Eagles' best to the other side. Spectacular Turley.
Simon Mitten-Connell back.
Oh!
Great marks, Mitten-Connell.
Out in front of goals. Schwartz! What a mark!
It was a toss of the coin over who was more interested in proceedings when St Kilda and Collingwood met in the second elimination final. Messrs Frawley and Shaw were so busy arguing that the toss went on and on. When the ends were decided, it was also to prove the end for Frawley. The St Kilda skipper limped off with an Achilles injury.
Yes, and a tragedy here for St Kilda. Danny Frawley coming off the ground with what looks to be a leg injury. There's the skipper going to the huddle. He'll probably go straight up the race to get some treatment.
Ralph Smith up towards the 50. Woods gets back there, but Lowe charges at it and takes another mark.
Woods could have gone a bit hard at that one.
Dwyer beats a man, goes for goal. It's home.
Oh, it comes to the dangerous Harvey. He's off and running, breaks the tackle easily. Robert Harvey having a great game. In towards half forward, he's found the former Geelong player in Fletcher. St Kilda starting off well in this 3rd term. Fletcher going long, he's looking for Lockett, and Winmar over the back. Lockett gets onto the right hand, gives it to Kickett. Dale Kickett into an open goal, and he slams it through for a goal.
Well, Dale Kickett, who did his pre-season with Claremont, previous stints with Fitzroy and the West Coast Eagles. Saints forward again. Harvey gets it back with an old 1-2. Harvey to Lockett, 1 out. Ooh, not this time. In comes Kickett. He's got a chance for his second. Goes back to Fletcher. Fletcher props and pops up to Dwyer, and Dwyer kicks the goal.
These two teams have put on some heart-stoppers over the last couple of years. But when St Kilda opened the lead to 4 goals in the last term, it looked cut and dry.
Open goal looms. Craig Davenport kicks, and Craig Davenport's goal. David Green's been a good, honest contributor. Oh, danger here for Collingwood because Gilbert McAdam gives it to Mick Dwyer. Where's the big fella Lockett? He ducks back into the square. Lowe's there also. Lowe and Lockett. Lowe punched away. Oh, Lockett! Tony Lockett is gone.
Ronnie McEwen and Scott Russell had different ideas. The pair came close to salvaging the match for the Magpies.
Collingwood, oh, good mark McEwen. Didn't reach him on the full. Ronnie's got it, tries to tunnel his way through, and does, to McCartney. His hand pass is not bad. Russell dodges from 50, goes long, and kicks a goal. Grant just gets the hand pass out. Woods is here for Collingwood. Back near centre wing. He goes in, that's the way to play it. To Russell, who kicked the last lifting goal. His pass to McEwen, fantastic. Well, he's taken 3 strong marks on a lead in the last quarter, McEwen.
Well, he's a great kick of a football, Drew. He's the man you want to have the kick.
3 goals the difference. Now it's 2 goals the difference. Gavin Brown, 2 kicks to goal from there. McEwen's your man. McEwen.
He's got it.
Oh, what a mark! Well, Shanahan did everything right. McEwen, superb.
The charge came too late, and St Kilda registered their first finals win in 19 years. The next day in the qualifier, the top 2 teams met at the MCG. Footscray looked fired up, and skipper Doug Hawkins collected Stephen Hocking early.
Towards the 50-metre line. Hocking, that pretty solidly.
Hocking's gone Pete's shoulder, I think, definitely. That's the great hip and shoulder from Hawkins.
The Bulldogs have had a checkered few years since they finished 3rd in 1985, and with Danny Delray on the way to an 8-goal haul, but kicked away in the first half.
Excellent football. Delray marks a chance to kick number 5. So Danny Delray. Inside 50, kicks for number 5 and gets number 5.
The match would be remembered for one trial by video charge, but somehow this one escaped attention.
Possession here at half forward. Tui over the top has been penalised, and he's not. Oh, if you don't mind.
That's 50. It's got to be, hasn't it? Hey?
It's a very generous umpire.
Gary Ablett had no hesitation in accepting the ball and kicking just another Gary Ablett-type goal.
Look at this kick. Oh, he's a magician.
The Cats looked every inch the best team in the competition in the 3rd quarter. They kicked 7 goals to 1.
Longer at the fall of the ball, Gary Hocking found some space and has kicked the goal.
If Doug Hawkins had started as the tough guy, he'd end in a totally different frame of mind. Spiro Malakellus was charged on trial by video, but to his immense relief was cleared. Gary Ablett kicked 5. This one perhaps not out of the pages of the coaching manual. Delray made it 8, but it was all too late.
Wallace can't make ground. Delray, has he got a chance for another one? A banana kick from the forward pocket. That's a brilliant kick, Danny Delray, for his 8th goal.
Billy Brownless simply ensured a Geelong victory. His 9 goals now standing as the record in a qualifying final.
Brownless the target, yes, and marks.
Gee, you should never have marked that, really. Look, totally out of the contest.
So Billy Brownless can equal the record of 8 goals in a qualifying final. Delray's got 8 today, so has Brownless. The Cats' legs full of running. Brownless! Can he break the record in a qualifying final? He's kicked 8 goals for. So Brownless to break the record in a qualifying final. 9 goals, if he's accurate. I don't think so, or is he? Yes, he is, that's the record.
Later the same day, on the other side of the continent, the West Coast finally had their revenge for last year's grand final loss against Hawthorn. Look at these goals, and you'll understand the quality of the Eagles forwards this day.
It's coming back. Has it come back enough? I think it has.
Oh, that might lift the Eagles. He's got it forward of the wing, Turley. Goes looking for Sumich. Langford closing. Well done by Langford. Picked up by Lewis. Back it comes to Sumich on the 50. High floating kick. The 2 number 1s go back. It's another goal. It's another freak goal.
Oh, no.
Kemp can't juggle it behind his back. McDonald slung viciously. It spills to Evans, who tumbles a punt down to full forward. A chance perhaps again for the Eagles. Was there a nudge? Langdon. Oh, he's kicked another miraculous goal.
Well played. Measures the hand pass. McIntosh shrugs a tackle. Matera, he's got a couple today. Fancies himself from here. Pulls it back. It's tight. It's so close. It's a goal.
There was one shining light for the Hawks. Jason Dunstall kicked 6 to end his year with the Coleman Medal and 145 goals, the 4th highest tally ever.
To a margin of just 5 points.
That was a terrific
He's
goal.
playing on. He's bending it back. Is it back far enough? I think it may be. Yes.
Don Pike kicked the sealer for the Eagles, who beat Hawthorn for the first time in a finals match.
Langdon, a long time to Pike, who snaps. That could be it. It's a goal.
With the assistance of the wind, Footscray got away to a dream start against St Kilda in the first semi-final at Waverley Park. Grant kicked early goals and would finish with 5 for the day.
Now Fletcher, tackled by Mansfield, was excellent. Coming away with the ball is Stephen Crediuk. Good play by the half-back. Crediuk to half-forward, and there's an excellent mark. Grant's on fire. Chris Grant. Hand pass to McPherson, an open goal looms. Steve McPherson box it right through the middle.
Looking for options. Goes very short. Del Rey. Shanahan. Del Rey well played. Brilliantly played. McPherson. Del Rey can kick this. Round the body. Goes for it. And has put it through.
Vidovic versus Wine. Kicked away for Footscray by Shannon Corker into the half-forward line. Chris Grant looking very dangerous. Breaks the tackle, Chris Grant. Onto the left foot. It rolls. It bounces. It's a great goal.
I just wonder how long St Kilda can leave Bowie off the ground. They've got Wimmer playing a negative role in Liberatore and Harvey being shut down at the moment
Hawkins.
by Steve Wallace.
This could be a goal by Hawkins. It is. Dougie has kicked the beauty. I almost feel St Kilda's playing into Footscray's hands here. Now he takes on Daniels and gets around him a bit too easily in the end, and then thumps the ball to full forward. Del Rey unable to hold what would have been a tough one. Shanahan off the ground. McPherson well played. Here's a chance. Handball to Grant. Goal number 4.
If that wasn't bad enough, St Kilda lost the inspirational Winmar with a shoulder injury.
Shoulder then, I think, in that clash. I think he's hurt. That's disaster.
Centering kick. Del Rey the target, outnumbered. Morris goes for it. Atkins read it beautifully. Sets it up. Wallace goes for goal in the square. Hawkins at the back, waits and kicks his third. Dougie, it's all too easy. Look at that.
Down by 9 goals at three-quarter time, the call went out for Big Tony. And Lockett went bang in every way.
Goes for goal. Lockett goes early and takes a magnificent mark.
This was Footscray's day, and who better to seal their win than Chris Grant? The Bulldogs by 29 points.
Del Rey, no mark, but here's a goal. Kicked by Grant.
In 2 appearances this season, honours were evenly divided between Geelong and the West Coast Eagles. At the MCG, 71,000 saw them clash in the second semi-final.
By McIntosh, roving the pack is Hocking. Hocking 40 metres out, lines up the goal. Good effort. It's one. Yes, it is. It's home.
McGrath has been Geelong's best defender so far. Lewis, always dangerous, close to goal. Mainwaring in the pocket of Bourke. Onto the right foot. Too far for Waterman. Or has he kicked the goal? He has. An amazing kick.
Eagles by 9 points. Geelong attacking. Here's Ablett. Unsighted so far. In one sense is a goal in the making. Evans on top of the ball, trying to knock it out. Evans does well. Wilson smothered off the boot by Buse, picked up by Sumich with the right foot. He's got his fifth.
We've got the whistle. Lewis off the ground. Sumich. He'll get this one, and does.
After an even first half, the match would become all one-sided. The West Coast's way.
Teammate Turley. On his left foot, Sumich won't miss this. 8 for the day.
With 36 possessions, Peter Matera was best of field.
Away go the Eagles again as it's taken by Turley. Marking contest at half forward. Wilson once more, who kicked the last goal. Looping hand pass. Matera's got speed, can go from there. 30 metres out, away he goes, and he's got it!
If you wanted highlights, however, this goal from Chris Mainwaring was the goal of the day.
Chips in superbly. Bends it back. Goal of the day if it's there. A magnificent kick from Chris Mainwaring. Superb stuff. And the Eagles are just about over the line.
After 18 years at Waverley, the preliminary final returned to the MCG. For Geelong and Footscray, it would be a desperate last chance to make the premiership playoff against the Eagles.
1-2 by the wingman. He gets it away. Merriman another shot. Impossible angle. But he's done the impossible.
Former skipper Andrew Bewes was an early casualty for the Cats. A damaged shoulder would put his grand final hopes in doubt.
See Steve Wallace coming in, both players down low. It was a fair hip and shoulder, but it looks like Andrew Bewes will have trouble coming back on the ground after that one.
And Footscray produced something of a surprise by opening a slender lead despite atrocious kicking.
Hickley, Charles, McPherson, Steve McPherson! Oh, he's caught. Chris Grant, shot for goal! Well done, Chris Grant! Up to centre forward, Collingwood, you'll get run down. No, he won't, he shrugs the tackle. Still got the football. Handball to Grant, Footscray will be in front. Chris Grant kicks his second goal.
The power of the Brownless-led Geelong forward line would be the difference. A 6-goal second quarter was followed by 6 more for Geelong in the third.
Trevor Poole up the wing, and Poole, oh, he missed it. Oh, he got it. Gave the umpire something to think about.
Marking contest, big punch by Stone, and Mansfield got through too easily. Short kick, too short. Brownless has got it. Handball away, Merriman's kicked the goal for the Cats.
Bustling Billy ruled supreme. His mark of the day would lead to one of 5 goals.
No goal. Oh, what a mark by Brownless!
The match had its tough moments. Toohey felt the brunt of his former teammates' wrath. Even the umpire would go down for the count. Darren Goldspink blamed Ablett. But in fact, the culprit in this accidental encounter was young bulldog Michael Frost. Dougie Hawkins went down with a broken nose, courtesy of his own teammate, Justin Charles. At that stage, nothing was going right.
Oh, his own man doing the damage.
In their first finals meeting a fortnight earlier, Geelong was untroubled, and so it would be on this occasion. The Cats home by 64 points and through to the big one against the Eagles.
Chance here for Wallace, caught, Ablett, this little kick, beautiful Merriman, you run into an open goal, could have nearly handballed over the top, but he's kicked it.
Couch, pretty quiet day. Paul Couch, Bairstow, hand pass Merriman, over his head, here's Gary Hocking, goal 100 in game 100.
For Footscray, it was a disappointing end to a great year. Coach Terry Wheeler led his team over to the Bulldog support base to thank them for their support.
And that's terrific, because a lot of those people put their hands in tins and kept Footscray afloat at the end of '89.
Yes, it's been a great comeback by the Bulldogs. 3 years down the track, and here they are playing in the preliminary final when really a lot of people thought, well, they've survived, but for how long?
Welcome back, and so now to the grand final. And as usual, the week leading up to that one day in September was a hectic one. It began on Monday night with the counting of votes and the presentation of the Brownlow Medal. And although the award this year was considered to be extremely open, Footscray ruckman Scott Wind went in a slight favourite, and that is how it panned out, with Wind polling 20 votes to win from Jason Dunstall with 18, and Geelong's Ken Hinkley polling 17 to finish third. Intermittent rain did nothing to dampen the enthusiasm at the grand final parade. Thousands of fans lined the streets to wish both Geelong and Eagles players all the best for that one day in September. And finally, that one day was upon us, with the Eagles and the Cats.
And already some pushing and shoving with McIntosh and Brownless. Brownless, a confidence player.
An Eagle is down. Ablett collected him, that's Pike. Boundary throw in. Stoneham gets it down. Mainwaring is grabbed. This is Scott. Strong tackle by Worsfold. Riccardi. Great goal.
5 behinds. The Eagles 3-2. The Cats as Barnes wins it, but straight to the run of Matera from 55. He sets sail for home with a mighty kick. What a goal. He's one of the players of the year. Mansfield and Merriman at the bottom. Evans over the top. Matera somehow gets out of jail. Peter Matera, 52 metres. Pulls it back. What a magnificent kick for goal. Oh, he can fire them up.
In the other direction against the flow is Langdon. He pulls it back. Hinkley. Down they go. He and Turley picked up by Sumich. Subic's snap is a good-looking one. It's bending around the post. I think it may be a goal. It is. Remarkable. Kemp and Wills got involved. This was after the relayed free kick against Matera, so the umpires really having trouble staying abreast of all of this. And Kemp taking Wills a little high there.
Brownless wants someone going past. It is Ablett. And he's kicked it.
Brennan finds it on the ground. Was he carried forward? No. Wilson, like a cork in the ocean, over his head. It's, oh my word!
A delicate little chip to the run of Matera. Suddenly the Eagles are alight. Matera sets sail for home, and the Eagles hit the front.
Worked under the ball by McGrath. Quick hands from Brennan, too quick, but it comes back to Matera. Matera on the 50. He could kick this. Matera, it's going to be a goal.
He can go over the top. How's this for a goal? Peter Matera, there's another one. Catch us now as Matera boots his feet. Well, he uses that helicopter kick and it works. They've got it. The Eagles have got it.
How sweet is revenge, just ask the West Coast Eagles. Last year's loss to Hawthorn has been buried, and they now stand proudly at the top in 1992. And that historic victory brings down the curtain on yet another magnificent year, and that was the season that was.
This has been a 7 Sport production.
Australian Football Video presents Vintage Football from the 7 Sport Classics Collection. 7's Magic Moments and the Sensational 70s. Football action to get your blood boiling. In 7's Magic Moments, thrill to 30 minutes of unrivaled football history. From the brilliance of Baldock to the antics of Jacko. And the Sensational 70s. Highlights from one of Aussie Rule's finest decades. Magic Moments and Sensational 70s. 2 magnificent 7 Sport Classics from Australian Football Video.